Hello, so today I'm going to show you 5 ways thereabout how to introduce the concept of subtraction to your toddlers in a very friendly way, in a fun way, where they'll feel relaxed to understand the concept and to not feel like a mathematics class. Okay, so number one way is snack time. Children love snack. It's one of their favorite time of the day. So you can use that time to introduce the concept. So instead of them just eating their biscuits, why don't you like bring up like 5 biscuits or 4 biscuits? For example, if I'm going to use 5 biscuits and I'll eat 1 biscuit, or you ask them to actually eat is their biscuit. So they eat 1 biscuit and you tell them to count how many biscuits is left. I'm intentional with the words left. Okay, so they count what is left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is left. Another way, teddy bear story game. Children love stories. Children love to play games. So when they have their toys, instead of just naming their toys, oh, Monica, Steven, and they just play, turn that play time into learning time. So it's a very playful way of learning subtraction. For instance, I'm going to use like 3 teddies to tell a story. For instance, you can tell your child 3 teddy bears went to the farm in the morning and they are back at home very, very tired. 3 of them lay on the bed, and before you know it, 1 slept off. How many is not sleeping yet? And they'll count, oh, 2 teddy bears are not sleeping. From that, they understand the concept of what subtraction is. And by the way, instead of using the word subtraction for them, why don't we use the word take away? Because take away is like an English word where they already understand what that means because it's what they use. But subtraction is like a mathematical word, so it might be a big term for them. So you start with simple words that they can comprehend. Take away is very good. So that's another way. Another way is pop the balloon. Oh, how children love balloon, especially when it's their favorite colors. So get them to get their favorite colors of balloon when you go to a party. So every scenario, every circumstance, everywhere they are, turn it to a time to learn something mathematically. That's the whole point of this. So at the party, wherever they are, or you have balloons at home, get them to get balloons, blow up the balloons and make them pop the numbers you want them to pop, and then count whatever is left. For an instance, I'll have 6 balloons, 6 colorful balloons. Ask your toddler to pop 3 balloons. They love the sound of popping, so they are playing, they are having fun at the same time learning how to subtract. They pop the 3 balloons and you ask them how many balloons are left unpopped, and then they'll count 1, 2, 3. That is subtraction right there. That is takeaway. How about when you introduce singing? Children love to sing a subtraction song. There are a lot of songs on YouTube that you can check, or you can, better still, you can actually compose your own song with your child and get them to learn the song. If it's a song that you learned or you're going to get from the YouTube, on your way to the mall, your way to church, as you're going outing, let them play the song in the car, and then they'll learn how to sing the song. Another way, learning how to subtract. And finger counting, one of the commonest that we can do. Bring up your fingers and let them count. For instance, I have my 5 fingers up, and you can say I brought down 2 fingers, how many fingers are left? And then they'll count 1, 2, 3. You can use their little fingers to do that, and sometimes they giggle because it's ticklish. I did this a lot with my kids and they loved it. At the end of the day, toddlers this age, we need to focus more on, or they focus more on seeing what they can see, what they can touch, what they can feel, and storytelling. If you can combine all this to teach your children any concept, you have gotten them. They'll love it. They are jokes, they're playing with it, they are having fun, and at the same time learning. The whole essence of this is for them not to memorize. Memorization itself, or memorizing numbers itself, does not make any sense. We want them to relate numbers to items, to things, so that they get the understanding, the concept of what they are learning. The goal is simply helping them to understand what subtraction or taking away is, which is when something goes away, the amount will become smaller. That's what you want them to know. So when you pop the balloon, they were 6, and now there are 3. The amount is smaller. When you brought out your fingers, it was 5. When you brought down 2, 3 is left. So they understand that subtraction or takeaway reduces the amount. So even when they are eating their normal food, rice, the more they pop into their mouth and they're chewing, they realize that there's less. That is another form of subtraction there. Or when they are eating their slice of bread, 5 slices of bread, as the more they are eating, it is reducing. So they can now relate subtraction by themselves to items, to concepts, to circumstances, to things around them. You don't need to keep telling them or memorize 5 minus 3. Once you understand the concept of subtraction, they can by themselves begin to subtract anywhere, everywhere, where they are playing, in their classrooms, in their crèche, wherever they are. Before you know it, they are just subtracting because they now understand what subtraction is. Where they go to a family gathering, and before you know it, the kids are subtracting, oh, how many boys we have, how many girls we have, and they are subtracting. So let them understand what subtraction means or take away. Thank you for watching. If this video is important to you, or if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and please put a comment below to tell us what method you use for your children, and if it did work or if it did not work. The whole point is for them to love math in a very unconventional way. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.